Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing another news and stuff video, and once again I have a lot to talk about, so here we go. So the first thing on my list, which was actually announced during BookCon, is that Rainbow Rowell is writing a sequel to Carry On, and I am so excited because I love Simon and Baz so very much. Unfortunately, it's not coming out until 2020, so we have like a while before it's gonna come out, but we have already gotten the cover for it. It's the same artist who did the cover for the paperback version of Carry On, which is Kevin Wada, and I'm obsessed with his artwork, and this cover is just as amazing as the last cover that he did. And I guess I should tell you the book title. It's actually going to be called Wayward Son. Then in a previous news video, I had told you how there were going to be new young adult novels that were set in the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So the first one has gotten a cover reveal. It's called Slayer, and it's by Kirsten White. It's going to be coming out January 9th of 2019, and so it's set in the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it follows a new Slayer. You can actually read the first 2 chapters online on Entertainment Weekly, and it sounds like it's going to be really good. Then we've got some sad news for fans of Shadowhunters. So it's been announced that Shadowhunters is going to end after the 3rd season. You'll actually be waiting a little bit until you see the end. It's not coming back until spring of 2019, and then that will be the final season. We got a cover reveal for the Crimes of Grindelwald screenplay by J.K. Rowling, and oh my god, this cover is amazing. I love it so much more than the Fantastic Beasts cover, and there are so many little hidden elements in it that I'm just like in love with it. Like, if you take a very close look at it, you can see that there are some nifflers, there are some bowtruckles, there's a dark mark, there is the Deathly Hallows symbol, there's the Philosopher's Stone, and there's a little lock that has the initials NF, which I'm assuming is for Nicholas Flamel, and I just love it and I can't wait to read it. And this is actually coming out on November 16th, which is the same date that the film is being released in theaters. And then speaking of Harry Potter, USAopoly is releasing 2 Harry Potter board games. One of them is a familiar game. So there's Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit, but it was always like that little square pie wedge travel edition thing, and I have it and it's really fun. But actually, me and Monica from She Might Be Monica did a video of us doing the Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit game on her channel like a really long time ago. They're coming out with a full version. I think it's gonna be called Trivial Pursuit World of Harry Potter Ultimate Edition. So this one will actually have like a full board and everything, and I feel like I'm gonna need it. And the little like playing pieces are so cool. There's one for each house, and they just look totally awesome. And they're also coming out with another board game called Fantastic Beasts Perilous Pursuit, but there's not really any information yet about what that game is going to be like. We also got a cover reveal for The Last Life of Prince Alistair by Alexandra Bracken, and I love this cover so much. I usually don't love green, but I am just so drawn to this one. I think it's so much better than the first cover, which is shocking because the first cover has a fox on it, and I thought that I loved that one so much. But they also updated the end papers, and the end papers are kind of similar to the first book, and I also really love those, and I'm so excited. And I actually got the arc of it at Book Expo this past week, so I'm very excited to read it very soon. We also got a cover reveal for Undying by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This is the next book following Unearthed, and it's a sci-fi novel. I really enjoyed the first one, and the cover for the second one looks really cool. I believe the film rights for this one have been optioned, which is perfect because it really read like it would be such a great movie. We also got the cover reveal for Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is another one where I actually really like the second cover better than the first cover. It kept the same color scheme, so it still has like the blue and the red in it, but I just felt like the way that the color was divided just worked a lot better. And we also got the news that Renegades is no longer going to be a duology, but it's going to be a trilogy. So that I'm a little bit cautious about because the first book already was like so long, so I'm curious what the plan is and like how long the second book is gonna be. And I always just worry when things are announced as duologies and then turned into a trilogy because it feels like the story is getting stretched. But I do love all of Marissa Meyer's books, so I am definitely going to read the second one and then see what's going on. We also got a cover reveal for The Tales of Beetle the Bard. Actually 2 cover reveals because the US illustrator is Lisbeth Zwerger. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And then the UK illustrator is Chris Riddell. So I'll show both of those here. And remember that Lord of the Rings Amazon series that I've been talking about for a while that I'm still quite hesitant about? It has been announced that the first season of the show is going to be following a young Aragorn. So that should be interesting. And then it's also been announced that Peter Jackson is no longer going to be like involved at all, which I think is good because we don't want to see the same thing just done again. As much as like the Peter Jackson films are my everything, I think if they're doing another adaptation, it would be good to do something different. Although again, I'm still not sold on like needing this Lord of the Rings show, but I will watch it, knowing me. Tor.com is going to be publishing a new novella by Sylvain Neuvel, who's the author of The Themis Files, which is a sci-fi series that I rave about on here. It is so good. Listen to it on audiobook if you have not done that yet. But he wrote a new novella, and it's a dystopian novella, and it takes place in the not so distant future where the road to citizenship is harrowing and carries a very great price. So it sounds like it's going to be really interesting. I know I'm going to read it as soon as it comes out. Then we got a cover reveal for Imprison the Sky by A.C. Goggin. This is the second book in the Elemente series. This is actually going to be a companion novel to the first one. The first one was called Reign of the Earth and had the red cover, and now this one is Imprison the Sky. It follows a different character, and I believe that everything is going to like tie together at the end, and the characters from the first book are still going to be a big part in the story of the second one, but it's just not going to be from their perspective. We also got the cover for Wild Card by Marie Lu. I have to say, I don't really love this cover. I really love the cover of Warcross because it's so like colorful and beautiful, but Wild Card, I just like, I don't know. I don't love it. I'm still so excited to read it, but I just don't love the cover. We also got a cover reveal for Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. This book, I believe, is coming out in 2019, and it sounds like it's going to be very interesting. Oh my gosh. And then I was so excited that Stephanie Garber announced that Caraval is not going to be a duology anymore. This is like opposite of how I feel about Renegades, but there's going to be a third book now, which is going to be appropriately named Finale. I still have to read Legendary, but that is one that I'm planning on getting to this month. Like, no matter what happens, I am reading that book. We also got a little bit more information about Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. It has been on Goodreads for a while as like a book that would be coming out, but it's now been officially announced that it's going to be coming out in 2019. This is a new adult fantasy novel by Sarah J. Maas, and I am just really excited to see what she's going to do once Throne of Glass ends, and now that ACOTAR is over and she's going to be starting that next trilogy. I think it'll be interesting to see what her next set of characters will be like. And also, her books already are more on like the adult side, so I'm very curious what an adult novel from her will be like. We got a title reveal for the second book in the Children of Blood and Bone series by Tony Adeyemi. This one is going to be called Children of Virtue and Vengeance, and it's going to be coming out in 2019. We also got a cover reveal for Famous in a Small Town by Emma Mills. Emma Mills always has the best covers, and this one is no exception. I absolutely love it. I love the color scheme. I think it looks incredible, and I can't wait to read it. I love her books so much. We also got a cover reveal for Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is a new young adult sci-fi series, and the cover, as you might be able to recognize, is by Charlie Bowater. The artwork is gorgeous, and I really love that the main character has purple eyes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Brandon Sanderson is going to do with this story. Then it was confirmed that Star Wars Resistance is going to be the next animated series within the Star Wars universe, and it's actually inspired by anime. It's going to take place during the sequel trilogy, but before The Force Awakens began, in an uncharted area that we haven't yet learned about. So far, it's been confirmed that we will see some familiar faces like BB-8 and Captain Phasma and Poe, and they will have the same voice actors as the actors who played them in the live-action films. But the focus of the series is going to be a new character named Kazuda Shono, which I'm probably not saying correctly, so I'm sorry about that, who is a young pilot who was recruited by the Resistance to spy on the First Order. This is going to premiere on the Disney Channel this fall, and then I believe it'll be moving over to the Disney streaming service once that launches in the future. It's also been announced that Roomies by Christina Lauren is going to be adapted, and Christina Lauren is actually writing the screenplay, and I'm really excited about that because I really enjoyed that book. It takes place in New York City, and it has a lot of Broadway in it, so it's something that I just really personally enjoyed very much. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue has also been optioned, but this time by Greg Berlanti, who you might know from like the DC universe. He's been in charge of a lot of the TV shows that have come out. That I'm pretty excited about because I would love to see how that book would translate onto the screen. It's also been announced that John Green's Looking for Alaska is going to be adapted into an 8-episode Hulu exclusive show. The pilot is going to be by Josh Schwartz, who also did Gossip Girl and The OC, so I am pretty excited for it. And Looking for Alaska is actually my favorite of John Green's books. It's also been announced that 13 Reasons Why has been renewed for a 3rd season, so it will be streaming on Netflix likely next year. That I kind of have mixed feelings about. I still haven't watched the 2nd season, and I'm not certain that I am planning on doing so. And we got a cover reveal for George R.R. Martin's new book called Fire and Blood. It takes place 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones, when the dragons ruled Westeros. It's basically like a Targaryen history, and this one's gonna be coming out in November of 2018. And then I'm sure that you guys have seen this already, but we also got a cover for King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo, and if it is anything like the chapter sampler that they gave out at Book Expo, it is going to be very shiny, and I'm so excited. Hallmark is going to be releasing 4 new Harry Potter ornaments this year, so I'll just throw those up here so that you guys can see them. And Scholastic is going to be publishing a 10th anniversary edition of The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, which makes me feel so very old. The new edition is also going to include an extensive interview with Suzanne Collins that was conducted by David Levithan. And then lastly, Arasha and the End of Time by Roshani Chokshi has been optioned by Paramount to be adapted into a film. I still have to read that one because I love that Sailor Moon comparison, and I've been meaning to do so, but I've been so busy with moving and stuff, so I just need to catch up on all of the books that I like should have read in the past couple of months. But those are all of the things that I have to talk about this time around. Let me know what you're most excited for, and I will see you guys soon in a new video. Bye!